Hello, I hope you're all doing well. So today we're going to be talking about the Longines Conquest, but not just one of the conquests, we're going to be talking about two and comparing them. So here on the left we have a previously released conquest which was around 2 or 3 years ago, and we've got this newer model here on the right. So we're going to go straight in and talk about the form factor and their changes. So the one on the left is a 39mm and the newer model is a 41mm. And if you look to the crown, so the casing is slightly different around the crown on the newer one. There's less around there, it's a bit more discreet, but on the older one it's got a bit more to kind of protect it. And just flipping the watches over now to give you guys a good look at the changes in the bracelets. So on the left we've got the standard links, and we've got the Longines logo embossed on there, but on the right there's more detail, there are more links there, and I think the addition of more links allows for even more light to be caught on the bracelet. The newest model has an open case back, which is a lovely touch, and it's really cool to be able to see the movement in there. And if we go back to the older one, it has a closed case back with the Longines logo embossed on the back, which is still really cool. It just kind of depends what you fancy, really. Now moving on to the differences in the dials, and some of them are really quite obvious. So of course you've got the number 12 and the number 6 here on the left model, but on the newer one it's just indices all the way around. And I think I personally prefer this because it does make it a touch more minimal, and it's not so in your face with those numbers. It kind of goes all together really quite nicely. On the older model we have loom only on the markers, but on the newest one we have it on the hands as well. So telling the time in the dark is going to be a hell of a lot easier. On the dial of the newer model we have the addition of the model name, which is of course Conquest. And the date displays move from 3 o'clock to 6 o'clock, which I really prefer because it makes it all a lot more symmetrical. The older Conquest comes in black, silver and blue, and as well as black and silver, the newer model comes in this lovely green, brown and blue. The way the light hits these sunray dials is really beautiful, as it kind of fans the light out, and it's still got some dark areas and light ones too. There's also a difference to the crown, so the newer one has a bit more detail here on the right. And I've just got my ruler out to give you guys an idea of the sizings between them. So the previous Conquest is a 39mm, and then the newer one is actually a 41mm. And surprisingly, the newer Conquest feels considerably lighter, I think, than the older one. I think both are lovely sizes, but I personally would get the newer one, as 39mm seems just a bit more universal in terms of who it would suit and who it would fit. Inside both watches is the Swiss caliber L888 movement, and in the previous Conquest there is a power reserve of 64 hours, however in the newer one 72 hours, an improvement of 8 hours, which is a really lovely quality of life upgrade. Now I know what you're all thinking, you want to know how much they cost and if there's a difference between the prices, and there is. So the previous model retails for £1,250, however the new Conquest, with its new quality of life upgrades or changes, whatever you want to call them, is actually £1,850, so a £600 increase, but you do have a higher power reserve, and I think the details on this one are a lot better. And I'm just going to end the video on this lovely little shot of me pouring myself a tea right next to the blue Conquest, which kind of matches the colour of the teapot. See you next week.